Hey everyone, I'm Nina Zeta with Sidewalker Daily, and in today's video, we're going to talk about content creator tips. I'm going to be sharing just different advice that I've come across in just my experience of working with different content creators on just ways that you guys can be more successful. So I think the best place to start is to really differentiate yourselves between influencers. So I know that sometimes the lines can get a bit blurry, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly show you guys the distinction between both. So the way that we look at it is that content creators are the artists, right? They will exist, they've existed before social media, they'll exist after. Whereas influencers, they're kind of more like media. They're more of a social media phenomenon, and they were, I guess, born in the social media world. Whereas content creators, the way we define them as videographers and photographers and creatives, they've been around since the beginning of time and will be around forever. So it's really important that we start to differentiate between the two, because as a content creator, you don't want to get lost or confused. And if you're interested in learning more about content creators versus influencers and the differences, I'm also going to link a video that we did on that below, so you can check that out. So at our agency, Sidewalker Daily, we do tons of different campaigns for brands, and that allows us to work with content creators on, big campaigns. We also work with influencers. I'm going to drop a link below in the description of ways that you guys can work with us if you are looking for help on business strategy. And you're going to want to make sure to stick around to the end of this video if you're a content creator, because I'm going to discuss ways on how you can monetize your content creative, business, so to speak. So definitely stick around, because I'm going to go through all of that. Let's go into the first tip. Work on your portfolio. So many content creators that we work with, they get kind of confused on really how to present themselves. I think a lot of people have fallen into this trap that Instagram is the front door to your business. Well, let me tell you something. Instagram is not the front door to your business. Having a website will always be the more professional approach to, when working with brands and different clients. Now think about it. Think about the user experience on Instagram. If you tell a brand that you want to work with, you're a videographer, you're a photographer, and you're like, check me out on Instagram, you don't first of all, that person, which is usually me, is going to have to scroll. And your best work is not necessarily at the forefront. It's not the most recent post, right? And also, you can't necessarily see all different types of work. Instagram doesn't let you categorize your work. It just kind of puts it all in one big flop. So working on your portfolio, having a separate site where you can categorize all your content into different categories based on your different niches. So we work with a lot of travel influencers and travel content creators. So what I always suggest on a coaching call is to make sure that your content is divided by niche. So what does that mean? If you have drone photography, there should be a drone photography section, underwater, maybe aerial, landscape, whatever the actual category is. Maybe it's interiors or whatever it is that you're trying to show. You don't want to put all your content blobbed in as one, because it makes it harder for the person on the brand side to actually find what they're looking for. So the second tip I'm going to share with you today is focusing less on your influence and more on your content. Now, I know being in social media, being a content creator on Instagram or in different social media platforms, there's always this stress about followers and likes and comments and engagements and blah, 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 all that stuff, right? It just gets to you. But you're a content creator. You need to put on your content creator hat. You need to think about pushing yourself creatively. You don't need to focus on your numbers or on impressions. While I understand that that is a vanity metric that gets people jobs and it gets, brands excited about working with you. Hey, I won't discredit that. I understand the importance of it. And I'm not saying to drop the ball and not have an Instagram entirely. But let me tell you what's going to get you more brand gigs and more working gigs is having kick-ass content. So really take the time to focus and hone in on your craft, to get creative, to do things that are not lookalikes like basically everyone else on Instagram. And if you can put more focus on the creative side of the content creation versus, the growing and the likes and all that other stuff, I think that you guys will be a lot more successful. So my third tip is going to be diversifying your content. Now, in the second tip, I talked about pushing yourself creatively, but in the third tip, it's about diversifying and being able to show clients that you work with that yes, you have a strong sense of vision and style, but that you can do multiple things. Think about it. We live in a time where brands are excited by different types of content. You know, on Instagram, I've seen really cool stop motion effects or different animated style of posts. You know, being able to, I guess, like learn about different animations for video, and I have a video on that, so I'm also gonna link that below, on apps that you can use to like do really cool effects. I'm not a content creator, so I'm not saying that I can do it, but I did do the research so that you could have these apps at your disposal. But, you know, being able to do animated videos is like, you know, it's a skill set and it's something you can upsell and upcharge on. And if all the people in your space are doing just, I don't know, like regular travel videos, why not be the one that does something a little bit extra, a little bit like more different? And that's kind of like something that I recommend to content creators to always think about how they can, you know, really position themselves in the market to be different. Another concept is like TikTok, right? So TikTok videos are like blowing up. We see it like everywhere, and it's only the beginning. So if you can get really good at producing 15-second reels and showing clients like, hey, I can produce this style of content for you, boom, setting yourself apart, making you a creative that is not only up on the trends, but can also, you know, deliver cool, different content. My fourth tip is going to be collaborating with other content creators. Now, this is something I don't necessarily see enough of, and I cannot tell you what a missed opportunity it is. As a content creator, you know, I'm sure you guys are in your own creative space, in the zone, shooting video, doing photos, but it can get lonely, right? And you can kind of get in your own little bubble, in your own little room, just editing all day. And while that is great and all to, you know, perfect your skill, what's really also important is to grow your business is who you know and who you meet. So I always recommend for you guys to get offline, to collaborate with other Instagrammers or other content creators, other people in your space. You know, you can do this at networking events. You can go to different panels in your space. Maybe it's just hosting an Insta-meet and doing like a walking tour of your city. We have a video on Insta-meets, so we'll link that below too, how to get started and how to set one up. But Insta-meets are great ways for content creators to, you know, get outside, get offline, meet people, connect. All you need is sometimes that one person that you vibe with that will take your business to the next level. And my last tip, which I know I mentioned at the beginning, is how you're going to monetize your content creation, right? So there's different ways as a content creator that you can look to monetize your business. One of the things I do think that's really important, if you are doing like the content creator thing as a hobby, making sure that you identify your goals. So yes, it's just a hobby, it's a side gig, it's something you do for fun. If it's something you're really looking to transition to being a full-time job, then you're going to want to start considering, okay, how am I going to monetize this bad boy so that you can make, you know, the right type of business decisions to get you there. So another way I see content creators monetizing their content creation is by really setting up like an agency, so to speak. So they're working on the production side of things. So when they're pitching to brands, they're, you know, pitching a variety of different production services. So it could be video for their website, or it can be, you know, photography for their Instagram or social media services. And when you're trying to be a content creator in this space, you're really looking to get clients on a long-term basis. So like retainer clients, not one-time, you know, gigs. It's really about trying to get to be someone's full-time content creator. So, and you know, there's so many small businesses that really need content. Think about it, like everyone has an Instagram page, everyone has a website. So the need for content creation is like, it's really up there. So you can really start to try to build out like a retainer-based business where you have, you know, clients for 3 to 6 months that are paying you a monthly fee to crank out content for them. And that's a strong, strong way that you can, you know, build independence, financial independence in your content creation, you know, sort of business. I've also seen content creators monetize their business by hosting workshops. So when you get really, really good at a craft, especially something like, you know, content creation on the video side or the photography side, editing, producing, people want to learn that, you know? And one thing that I think is super interesting is that with the rise of TikTok and like the short form video clips, I have seen people like hire that whole thing out. They're like, okay, I need you to just can you take over my company's TikTok and just create content for that, like just video all day long? So again, it's really trying to figure out like how you can sell your services and teach others the skills that you've learned along the way. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on content creator tips and advice that I am sharing with you. If you want more one-on-one advice, I will put a link below to our coaching services. If you like this video, fuel my fire, give it a like, let me know in the comments, and subscribe to our channel, and I will see you in the next video.